Alrighties, welcome back to Whiskey with E. I'm Eric. Now, let's just say, spur of the moment, still in my work gear, but you know what? I just have to get this off my chest. We just got to compare it. We just got to see the difference right now. For everyone that doesn't know, I only just uncorked the Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, which is the product coming out of Wild Turkey. Obviously, it's a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey coming out of warehouse Tyrone G, bottled at 50.5%, which is 101. But honestly, if you're thinking it's the same as the standard Wild Turkey 101, it's not. It's better version than the 101. It's the 101 on steroids. But anyways, for everyone that doesn't know, the last video we did some experimentals with the Australian red gum wood, but not like this. I torched it with a jet lighter and then I soaked it in some of this juice. That is sitting in this glass right here. Now, from what I can see, the color is so dark right now, so I'm assuming it's going to be so Australian red gummy. But I just want to see the color difference, and we're just going to see how this is tasting now with all this air space. Now, we also have the Kentucky Spirit that was soaked in the wood that previously had some Australian tawny in it. So we're going to class this as a Kentucky Spirit finished in tawny port barrels. All right. Okay. Alrighty, so let's pour some up. Now, here we go. Alrighty, so we're going to pour some up in here. Alright. Oh my goodness. I mean, if you can't half already tell, I have been enjoying this, obviously responsibly, but maybe not as slow as I would like to, but to be fair, it is really delicious. Now, I've made a point of this on a shorts. I would rather buy this than chase a Blanton's, you know, like the regular Blanton's, any day of the week. Honestly, in my personal opinion, this is a whole lot better than the original Blanton's or the 80 proof Blanton's. So don't even waste your time chasing Blanton's. If you see this on your shelf, just grab one of these. Or the Russell single barrel, obviously, is probably the one that a lot of people would rather get over this one due to it's higher in proof, it's non-chill filtered, and it's probably cheaper than this. But let's grab out some of the Australian red gum finished version. Now, this has been soaking in here since Monday. It is currently Wednesday at the moment, so let's just grab this out here. Now look, I can even see little bubbles rising, so you can tell that it's still doing its thing in the wood. I don't really want to take out too much. We want to keep it in there still, but oh my goodness. Just so that you guys can see the color difference. Alrighties. Now look at that. Look at that. 3 days in the Australian red gum wood that was charred. Oh my goodness, like that is substantially a lot darker, guys. See what I mean by the Australian red gum wood gives off this reddish hue. Now, we thought that this was kind of dark, but now this just looks yellow compared to this really dark caramel, kind of dark amber, almost tawny looking color. Look at that. Look at that. Alrighties, you know what? We're going to give them a taste. We're going to compare the difference. And let's just see how they're both going. Well, we're going to see how this is opened up. And we're going to see how much of that Australian red gum influence is in this glass. But here we go. So as good as I remembered. You know, it's that sweet, charred. It's like a sweet oak. You can almost say it's like a glazed brown sugar. You could almost say it's like caramel kind of toffee kind of vibes. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful, guys. All right, you know the vanilla's there. Like I said, it's like a vanilla waffles kind of note. That slight nutmeg note. you're getting an impression of like, I used to say it's like tobacco-ish kind of notes. You know, if you've had a cigar and you taste a bourbon or you smell a bourbon, this is kind of that, in that direction. You know what? Let's nose the red gum version. Oh my goodness. At the moment, this is just red gum overpowered, I think. I mean, this is just, let's just say I appreciate this because of all the subtle nuances that you get in wild turkey. This is almost like maybe there was too much of the Australian red gum in there. I mean, look at the color of it. I even took some out of that and added it into another glass, and I filled it up with some Australian tawny, you know, like a fortified wine, some port, just to get some future port barrels to finish some bourbon in. So, but you know what? It's all about the taste. I mean, obviously, this is really intense in the nose, but you could always put some unfinished, you know, bourbon in with this to maybe bring out all the, you know, all that beautiful original Kentucky Spirit nose. But you know what? Let's have a taste. Cheers, everyone. Toasted caramel. You know, it's like a slight baked apples. Oh my goodness. That is so good, guys. Hold on. It's still very savory. It's not a drying bourbon or anything like that. It's like a very savory kind of honey. I need another sip. Here we go. And all that sweet kind of, you know, like that caramelized brown sugar notes, that savory honey just rolls over into this, you know, like a aged bourbon kind of note, like that leathery kind of note with a slight little pepper spice, but not very peppery at all. Oh my goodness. Actually, I'm going to have another one. See what I mean? It's just so delicious. You just want to keep sipping some more, but oh my goodness. I mean, yeah, it's almost like a real creme brulee kind of vibe. That sweet, it's like a caramel, that honey, like a toffee kind of vibe. You're almost getting like a slight baked apples kind of vibe. But the finish, it's like a medium long finish. It's not an overly long finish. But you know what? Let's give this bad boy a try. I already have a feeling it's going to be very woody, so to speak, very red gummy. Now, honestly, if you leave it for a bit longer, that the woody kind of tannins do kind of mellow out. So at the moment, it's at the point of, let's just say 3 days. So, but you know what? Let's have a taste, guys. Oh my goodness, look at the color of that. Here we go. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's just a different experience, guys. The finish is even longer, but it's just red gum dominant. I mean, if you've never finished stuff in red gum before, it is truly a unique wood. I mean, it's not oaky, it's legitly red gummy. But I mean, all the subtle notes of the Kentucky Spirit, it's buried underneath all this red gum. But you know what? I'm going to have another sip, guys. Oh my goodness. I kind of want to blend it with the non-finished Kentucky Spirit, just to see if it brings out all the original Kentucky Spirit notes. Honestly, for the color, for how much it just noses like red gum, it's not overly tannic. Yes, you could say that, you know, it's a little bit tannic. I mean, compared to just having the Kentucky Spirit straight by itself. But you know what? I feel like we're gonna mix them together. Here we go. I mean, maybe I feel like even adding in some more just to see what adding in more of the Kentucky Spirit does, you know, the non-finished version. I mean, look at that. We've already toned down the color just that tad. But hopefully this will just bring out more of that original beautiful sweet charred oak, you know, like all that goodness, that vanilla, the caramel notes. Look at that. The color's still substantially dark, guys. I mean, just look at how that looks in the glass, you know? All right. Now we're going to have a taste of the finished in the Australian Tawny Port as well, just to see. But I'm just curious. Here we go. Yeah, all right. It actually works well together. I mean, just the finished version by itself maybe is just overly red gummed, like maybe overly woody in that sense. But adding in some more Kentucky Spirit, you are getting more of that sweet again, all that glazed brown sugar, kind of like that caramel kind of sweetness, that toffee kind of note. But they're almost working together to be like a red fruit kind of vibe, like a dark cherry kind of note. But honestly, yeah, that caramel, that toffee kind of note, that red gum just does wonders, guys. I mean, I'm really actually curious of how many whiskies out there in the world are actually finished in red gum. You know, I don't see very much, even here in Australia. I've heard of one, like a rum that was finished in a red gum, but I never got to taste that. If it's anything like this, I can imagine how red gummy it could be, but the rum does actually work well with the red gum. I've experimented with this in the past. Oh, you know what? Let's have a taste. Cheers, everyone. Definitely experiment. Like, just char some wood, leave it in the glass like how I do. Honestly, 3 days gives you that flavor, gives you that color. You can only imagine just 1 day how it would just be more of a subtle finish. All right, let's have a taste. Cheers, everyone. Mm. Oh, get out of here. No. Wow. Wow. It just brought back all that sweet, all the original Kentucky Spirit notes, but you just have this longer finish because of that red gum. That's it's almost like a spice of the red gum. You know, I'm having another sip, guys. This is awesome. Mm. Oh, not tannic, not rough, not edgy, but you know what? I really should be pouring up some water too, but I don't think I have any here, so we're just gonna have to go with it. Let me just have a look. No, I don't see any water. I'm gonna just go with the flow, guys. Now the Kentucky Spirit that was finished in the tawny port wood barrel. This is our barrel. Look at our barrel. All right, guys. There is a bit of a slight hazy hue kind of reminds me of if you have a Scotch whiskey and it hasn't been chill filtered and you add in some water, it kind of might go that slight little bit cloudy. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting in this. But honestly, maybe I should suck some out just to show you guys. Hold on, let's do it. All right. Oh my goodness. Well, we're gonna have to just use this. I can already notice something there. All right, let's go. Here we go. Uh-oh. I mean, this is a smaller glass, guys, so I don't really want to take out too much, because then I'm gonna have to put more Kentucky Spirit in there. I already know I'm gonna, so it doesn't matter. But we can just put it into the original Kentucky Spirit glass. That's all right. All right. Now, see what I mean by cloudy? So maybe that's because it was like pretty much, I only just sipped all of that port out of that glass, so you're going to count it as a wet cask. You know, it's still freshly emptied, so to speak. So the elements of the port is still going to be dominant in there. What is that? Bits of wood? That's all right. But there you go. If you're wondering what it looks like if you're trying a non-chill filtered whiskey and you're dropping in some water, this is typically what's going to happen. See how this just looks clear, and this, there's an element of cloudiness, so that's what that's going to look like. But anyways, let's give this a nose and let's give it a taste. Ah, I like this. I like this. Honestly, it's not overpowering. Like this Jim Beam that is finished with the Australian Tawny Port. Actually, let me grab that. I'm not going to open it, but I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about. All right. This is the thing that I've been talking about. So Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey finished with Tawny. So honestly, when you are trying this, the nose of the Tawny is that overpowering. It just reminds me of, like, for example, if you just got a Jim Beam or a Baker's or any kind of bourbon, and then you just put in a few drops, a little bit of Tawny Port into that glass, it just overpowers it too much. It kind of, it just takes over that bourbon notes, and it just becomes too overly tawny. Let's just say, you know, too much of that raisins and sultana kind of notes. But this is so subtle. Honestly, the fruits, yes, raisins, sultanas, but you could almost say it's chocolatey now, honestly. Because the Kentucky Spirit was already sweet with the caramel, you know, that kind of savory honey note, that vanilla waffles. Oh my goodness, this noses beautifully. Now I'm just curious of how they're going to go with this. That's going to be extra. Finished in Australian red gum and X port barrels. Anyways, let's have a taste. Cheers, everyone. Oh. 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 Subtle. It's subtle. I think this is why I would rather do this technique than just adding some splashes in, you know, adding some splashes of Tawny into your bourbon, because that, it just overpowers it. This is so subtle because we're using the wood that pretty much has been soaking in Tawny, and I was using a real good Tawny as well. So we were using the Galway pipes, that 1990s kind of Tawny Port there. Oh my goodness. I know the cloudiness was a little bit worrying, you know, that may seem a little bit worrying if you're a consumer. This is why they chill filter products. But honestly, that is just so beautiful. Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm gonna have another little sip. Like, it's still, all that Kentucky spirit is there, but it just kind of rolls over to that raisins, that slight kind of, that sultanery chocolate. It's not like a dark chocolate, it's more like a milk chocolate. You know what? Let's put this into this one. Oh my goodness. There we go. You know what? We could even add in some more. Oh my goodness. You know what? We could add in some more, guys. I mean, I really wanted to, I kind of wanted to bottle this up. Just bottle this up in a little bottle like this, just to keep as a, this is how the Kentucky Spirit from Tyrone G tastes like when it's finished in a port barrel. Yeah, maybe I could always add in some more. Oh my goodness, look at this. See, and this is already a little glass, so oh my goodness. All right, we're just gonna put that up now. Now that definitely made it a little bit cloudy, but let's see what we're gonna get on the nose. See, this is what experimenting is all about. If you love your bourbon, if you're deep in your whiskey journey and you're experimenting with blending, I highly recommend you get into this wood kind of experimenting shenanigans. I mean, if I had more different woods, I'll be experimenting more. Like, get some Mizunara oak or something, from Japan, and we'll toast some of that up and see how that goes. Or, oh my goodness, yeah, that red gum, toasted red gum note is still very strong here. But all that subtle sweetness is in the undertone of that red gum finish. Oh, here we go. We're getting more of the sweetness the more that we maybe we got to do the the ADHD SJ swirl job. I know, agitate the shit out of the whiskey. Here we go. Oh my goodness, guys. There we go. Like the red gum is just subdued down a bit. Maybe we're just like whooshing out all the red gum, but now all that sweetness is coming in from the port and the original Kentucky Spirit. You know what? Let's have a taste. Cheers, everyone. Definitely recommend you try do this wood finishing experimenting thing. I know when you first taste it, you're going to say, ah, nah, that's really woody, or that's tannic, or, but like I said, this is just the pure version of the Australian red gum finish. Now, if you think that that's too overpowering, you could always tone it down with some non-finished bourbon, all right? But you know what? Let's have a taste, everyone. Oh, we are going past 20 minutes. This has been fun, hasn't it? All right, here we go. Let's have a taste. Cheers, everyone. Oh, 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 that is the combo. I'm going to have to remember this combo. Some of the original red gum mixed with some non-finished Kentucky Spirit, mixed with some of the Kentucky Spirit that was finished in the port barrel. This is the combo right here. It's not too overly poweringly red gum. It's not too overly finished in the port. And it's not just your Kentucky Spirit, even though that's a very not bad warehouse that it came from. But honestly, this just elevated it. It just gave it extra layers. I mean, if the original Kentucky Spirit was already lovelily layered, you just added in extra layers of red gum, tawny port. Now just picture all that infused together. Oh my goodness, this is so awesome right now. Cheers, everyone. Drink responsibly. Like, comment, subscribe. Honestly, let me know if you enjoy your blending. Let me know if you've experimented like this. I know there is bourbons out there. What do they call it? Eden something, like with the